but if you can hear me, then it's okay. I will try to. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful. Okay, now, excuse me, I will mute all of you, but then anytime you have a question, you can write, or you can, unmute yourself and ask me the question. Welcome back to the group that they joined the second class, and I welcome the new students who has joined us this week. So there would be some repeated information, but we want to make sure that we are covering, the material, and we're going along with this week requirements. Please write back so I can answer your questions while I'm delivering the class requirement. Now, just to want to make sure that today we will see some videos, one video, and we also gonna try to break you into group, so then you will be able to meet your groups for the group meeting, because you're gonna do some projects based on a group meeting, end of the class. Bear with me until like the last 15 minutes of the class. I will break you into group, so we can speak about how we're gonna work out this group. I've already shared the learning plan with you. If you have any questions, you can write down, or you can email me using my email address. So I will write it down, my email. Good afternoon. So I'll write down the email, my email address. Please feel free to write back to me, or right here also. You also can find me on chatting, and also you can write to the email, or on the website. As always, you can leave a message for me. Now, there is two things that I will do after this class. One, I will send you the PowerPoint presentations that we will do. The second, I will be publishing this video on YouTube, and I will send you the link, so it's easy for you to go back to this. But also, you want to make sure that you allocated the book that's required for this course. Now, without further ado, I will probably share a short video with you, and then we will start the class after the video is started. So I will stop this the screen, and I'll share my screen with you. Okay.
Inside this downtown Detroit office building,
there may be more carpenters than cubicles.
How much of this building looks like this?
Most of it.
But CEO Tim Bryan sees that low occupancy as a business opportunity to cut costs. He's moving part of his healthcare IT company, Galaxy Solutions, here to a state which has lost more than 800,000 jobs in the last decade. They're planning to hire up to 500 new workers.
Every renaissance starts somewhere.
His company already has offices in India and considered expanding overseas to Brazil. But after crunching the numbers, they chose Detroit at a cost of just 5% more than South America.
For the first time, we can deliver services here in Detroit at price points that are competitive with offshore.
With no foreign governments, fluctuating currencies, or time zone changes. And the city's 22% unemployment rate includes lots of laid off but highly skilled workers from the auto industry.
Cubicle was paradise for me at this point.
Chris Thomas, a father of 3, struggled for nearly 2 years to find work before Galaxy hired him as a business analyst.
I've been smiling every day since.
Across the street, Quicken, the software company, just made downtown its new headquarters, bringing 3,700 jobs here. And down the street, Toria Blanchard's crepe shop has a staff of just 7. But small businesses like hers make up 86% of private employers in the area. This former French teacher expanded Good Girls Go to Paris from 48 square feet to more than 2,000 in just 2 years.
I truly feel like I couldn't have done it to this extent in another city the way I've done it here.
Affordable rent means the chance to take a risk, and now there are more shops on the block.
There's a bookshop over here.
Blanchard's banking on this mini neighborhood revival, and next will open a bar on the corner.
You've gone from French teacher to real estate developer.
I don't know. It's just I want to do what I love.
At Paper Street Motors, an old warehouse has become a new business incubator. Taking advantage of short-term leases at $300 a month, casualties of the recession can reinvent themselves.
When people lose their jobs and there's not a lot of jobs available, that they create their own business.
In a city that's better known for these hulking reminders of the ghosts of its past, is a renewed entrepreneurial spirit.
Okay, that was a very short video, and entrepreneurial is something that it is probably a more mental stage. It is important for you to know whether you are an entrepreneur person or not, and if you're not, then you probably need to know how you become an entrepreneurial. Now, there is tools involved in that, and these tools probably, how shall I say, you need them to understand your mental state, and also to utilize them to advance and do it in a right way as an entrepreneurial. Now, the questions comes in here. I think you have a better chance than lots of people in Canada to be an entrepreneur. The reason is because you probably have a background that makes you more in a position to understand different culture, and you have a good understanding of the probably the adjustment of each market. So you're already in a stage that much more advanced than the others. Now, what I wanted to do today, we will share some slides, an introduction to this course, more information about this course, and also in the end of the class, hopefully we can manage to set up the groups. Keep in mind, entrepreneurs and entrepreneurial is a mental stage that you need to be in that mental stage in order for you to really set up yourself. But in the same time, most of the entrepreneurs will be failing. And the reason, because they are not using the right tools. So, for example, most of people will jump in the water to think they will try the swimming, but if they don't know how to swim, they might sink. So in this course, what I will do is, first of all, we will evaluate each other to see how at what stage we are in the entrepreneurship. Already, as I said, you guys have a little bit a better step. You are ahead of everybody within Canada because you already speak a few languages. It could be some of you speaks 2, 3, 4. And the second, you're aware of the culture, of your background and current culture in the future. And the third is you're in a country that's made of different cultures, which is puts you in a very good position to be a good entrepreneur. Now, why you want to be an entrepreneur? And you think sometimes the entrepreneurship needs money or needs somebody to be financed. Sometimes it doesn't really. Why you want to be entrepreneur? For many reasons, but one of the best reason is, as I person done these few times, I feel very satisfied with what I'm doing. The second thing is the fact that you probably will be making, if you succeed, you will be making more money than anybody else. The third thing, you will be ahead of all your friends, family, and everybody that you're dealing with. It takes a little bit effort. It takes an open-minded person. So my goal is really in this class is to do two things: set you up mentally as an entrepreneur, which is I believe most of you are, and second, giving you the tools to be an entrepreneur. And most of the market in any country, advanced country, relies on small to mid-sized businesses. And you probably will be one of the people most likely going to join or establish its own company, which could be a small to mid-size. So it's important for you to have less chance of failing and better chance of succeeding. Now, just like the last class, this is a most important course you will be taking in your life. And the reason is kind of the mother of all the courses that you have taken. Because you're going to utilize all the courses that you're going to take in if you are doing any entrepreneurship, such as financing your business, marketing your business, doing marketing research for your business, establishing your business, finding out the laws and regulation of this business. So you will utilize all the courses that you've taken, plus your background experience, plus everybody's experience into establishing your business. Now, maybe in the beginning, you probably will have difficulties, but keep in mind the sky is limit in the entrepreneurship, because you are in a location right now where you have at least exposed to 30 million people or 37 million people. You also been exposed one of the biggest market, which is a 350 million in US. So altogether it's 400 million people in North America. Not only that, they are the biggest consumers worldwide. They consume 1/6 of the world, although they are not even 1/20th of the world. So the market is big. The competition is there, but if you're working it very smartly, you can be very successful in your life. Now, we will talk about how to set you up as an entrepreneur, and we also will talk about what's in the entrepreneurship. So there would be lots of discussions. There would be a lots of videos, lots of information driven from the book, and it's kind of a internal research and external research. You have to believe in yourself to be an entrepreneur. And as I said, trust me, I've been in lots of times, many times in this stage, and it's a wonderful, positive stage. Brings a smile and hope in your life, which is something is wonderful to do. Now, I will answer any questions. Please write to me. But let's jump on the class and start, delivering probably the first lecture. Now, keep in mind, these will be published on Google, on YouTube, and also this video will be published on YouTube, and also I will mail you the presentation. I'm also will be easy to be, send me an emails or find me on a chat. It would be wonderful things. Right? Let me share something as okay. Basically, today we will be talking about the mindsets, but also this is the book that I'm looking to. You will be looking at it. I will send you the link of the book. If you didn't go on McGraw-Hill and found it, just let me know. I will help you in allocating this book also. Now, in the first chapter, we will be talking about who is the entrepreneur, how I can set my mind to be an entrepreneur. Later on, we will be talking about the tools and ways and things of entrepreneurship. In the middle of the class, I will give you a break to rest, probably for 10 or 15 minutes, and then we will join. So that shouldn't be worrying you. And just please, I need your attention to start thinking of it as how about this course. Now, and when you are trying to being an entrepreneur, start with a lucrative opportunity or enterprise individual. So an entrepreneurial opportunity could stem or comes from a new market, like you are in the new market in Canada, or a new product for an existing market. So there could be a new product in you can market it in Canada, or a new product you can market it in India or somewhere else. And the markets already exist. So you might be saw some good, wonderful application in India that can be applicable in Canada, or vice versa. Or could be a new product for a new market. Now, I will be bringing some personal examples that I went through for the while we are going through the course. Now, so basically, what you are looking for is the fact that entrepreneurial and thinking, it has two stages. The first stage is that you notice there is an opportunity in a market for someone. Now, 7, 8, 10 years ago, I don't remember exactly how many years ago, we noticed there is an opportunity, for example, for a mobile diabetic solution. So there is an opportunity for someone in the market. The second stage of thinking, determining whether this opportunity is for themselves. So as an entrepreneur, I will first see, okay, there could be an opportunity for X product to be in Canada. The second stage, I have to think about it, says, can I do that? Is this opportunity for me or for someone else? According to that, you would take, as an entrepreneurial, acting on and pursuing the identified opportunity involved in thinking. So sometimes you go and say, okay, there is a business X available, we can do this, or somebody can do it. But if you don't think that you can do it, then you're not going to pursue that. So it's important that the two stage of that business. So when you go out, start looking around, saying, okay, what kind of a business I can do in Canada? Or what kind of business I can export from Canada to India, or from India to Canada. And that's where the opportunity comes in. It doesn't have to be between Canada and India. It could be Canada and States, or a state and Mexico. So think globally. Now, how is entrepreneur thinks? Entrepreneurs sometimes make a decision in a highly uncertain environment with a high stakes and imminent times of pressures. Most of the time, as an entrepreneur, what's stopping you is saying, oh, I don't have enough resources. Maybe I don't have enough materials to do that. But if, as an entrepreneur, what it's making you is the fact you don't have, it could be one of the two things you're doing. One thing is like a cook. Sometimes you go home and you say, okay, I want to eat this food. So you go to a supermarket and buy the materials, and you bring it home and you cook something. The other part of it, you say, okay, I want to eat. So you open the kitchen, you open the cupboard of the kitchen, and you see whatever you have, and you cook from it. So there is two things. Sometimes you have a target, and sometimes what you're going to cook, and sometimes no, you don't have the target. You just want to make something out of whatever you have in your hand. Most of the time, entrepreneurs think one of these two, and they both work very well. But you have to be advocate, feel passionate about it, get engaged, see how you can provide these resources and how these things is going to happen. Now, most of the entrepreneurs, usually they go from a stage that they are educated or will have a good knowledge of it. Let me give you an example. As a person, which is I worked in the field of IT a lot, the first thing I was thinking of it, finding a solution within IT to serve the community where it generates benefit for me. But if I worked in a supermarket all my life, I probably would think of something in the field of supermarket, in the field of perishable goods, in the field of goods or food, to come up with a new business. If I worked in a restaurant, I'd probably be driven from the restaurant. If I studied food and wants to be an entrepreneur in first thing, I'm not gonna find an IT solution to serve the people. I'm gonna think of what kind of food I can bring to North America that can really develop a business for me. So it's most of the time is driven from your background of education, knowledge, and experience. And sometimes it can be utilizing the same whatever available in a market like technology for different entrepreneurship. Let me give you another example. There is a tool in a market right now. It's running for targeting different things. And then same these tools, you can utilize them to target different market segment. As example, today, everybody is using an artificial intelligence. It is a technology, it's called artificial intelligence. And you can see them. Sometimes you go on a website and you see a small box shows up with information. Say, hi, can I help you? All these information. So this is a technology. Now, what I thought about it, I said, okay, why I don't use this technology for insurance? Now, you would say, what you are thinking is already available in the market. I say, yes. When you go to a London life insurance or any life insurance, you would see most of the time on the website, said, how can I help you? And this could be not a person, could be a machine talking to you. I said, yes, but I can pick up this and give it to the salespeople and change it and make sure that they are qualifying probably some people, some potential customers. Okay, so sometimes the technology is there in the market, but it's not utilized in the field that you are thinking of it. And sometimes you are thinking way different as a product, and then you build a technology around it. So there is a quite differences between them. As long as you think in an entrepreneur style. Bricolage, not always you are having the whole resources available for you to start a business. And sometimes, as I said, whatever you have, you can switch, add, cut, do different things with the product that you have in your hand and make the changes where you can solve a problem. As example, you might, one of the things that I found out, for example, the chicken legs. Everybody throws that end of the chicken legs, but I was approached by someone who said, we need to establish a business together. We collect the chicken legs in the countries where they throw them. We package them and we ship them to China where they eat that, for example, the end of the chicken leg. Because, and imagine a day how many chicken get slaughtered and how many legs are thrown in the garbage. These can be edible in different countries. So a sample like that is just that in the bricolage is kind of you repackaging it, you reframing it, you experimenting with these things. That gives you an open mind for example, in the food industries. It's the same thing. You might thinking of saying, okay, I have, you go to a value village and you see so many secondhand clothes is there. You might say, okay, I can repackage them and can ship them to third world countries where their revenue can have less and sell them there. So many things that it doesn't need really so much financing or so many people works on it. The process is of making do. Entrepreneurship can create opportunities. So first thing is that comes in, says, okay, what can I make with this thing that it's being used right now? The second thing, the effectuation that you have with it, how you feel positive about it, how you willing to, your desire of working in the entrepreneurship. As I said, entrepreneurship is something that really you have to feel positive about it. If you don't feel positive about it, you're not going to be an entrepreneur. You can have a very small business, but when you go home, you're very feel well rewarded of it. And you can have a big business and you go home, you feel very depressed. So, and you notice most of the people, when they are in some stage of work or age, they decide to open their own businesses. And the reason is because they feel that they have enough with being a non-entrepreneur. Let me give you a very harsh reality. Basically, slavery has been changed from working for food to working for salary. But if you have your own business, you are a free person. So it's true. You might start the first after graduation or working now for 2-3 years, but make sure you pick up enough information and strong enough to start your business. Don't stick with any company. Most of the Canadians, they love to have a government job or a well-paid job, but it's a salary base and it's a different shape of a slavery. I know you guys, most of us wants to be free, and this freedom comes with a price in it. And the price is that in the beginning you start working hard, but then the contribution to yourself, to your family, to the society, it could be a very positive things to do. Here, whereas most of the managers also need to be entrepreneur mindset, because a manager that is not an entrepreneur, he's not a leader. And is not a leader is somebody is an open-minded, help other to go to shape themselves, but is also he's a leader where he leads everybody to establish a new business, to come up with a new idea, and don't be afraid of failing, because most of the entrepreneurs, they failed many times before they came in. Like Amazon maybe failed 60, 70 times. Whomever discovered to, made the light bulb, he said, I tried 100 times, I failed 100 times, and then I made a light bulb. When they asked him, he said, I found out there is 100 times how the light bulb doesn't work. So failing, you should, as an entrepreneur, you should not be having any fear of it. So there is a desire to succeed. And once you succeed, you will have a full freedom as a person. It feels wonderful and great. I've been in that stage. I am in this stage. I don't quit being entrepreneur because this is what I love to do. And that's what I'm doing always on the side. So to develop, as a manager, to develop this mindset, attempt to make a sense of opportunities. When you're looking at opportunities, you try to make sense of them. Secondly, you need to constantly question their domain logic. Is there a logic behind of that? Is the people's gonna, look at it? Is all these logical things that you need to be in, and revisit what you think through about the market and firm. You always do a double check on yourself. See whether it's what you're thinking is right or wrong. Now, you will need to have a cognitive adaptabilities. You need to ask a comprehensive questions. See your situation within the total situation. It's very important that a dynamic, a flexible, self-regulating, and engaged in sensing person to be. But you need to have to ask, as I said, a comprehensive questions. You need to ask to connect different tasks together. Strategize these tasks. Which task will reflect to what? And see the reflection of these tasks to yourself. So you overall, you have to have a cognitive adaptability to be good at the effectuation. Cognitive adaptability is a very important to see your situation around you, what's going on. And as I said, when you see something that is missing, and some people can do it, then after a while, you start thinking of, okay, can I do that? And once you start saying, I can do it, that's when you start believing in yourself and in the business, and you can do this in a favorable way or not in a favorable way. So you perceive desirability refers to individual attitude toward entrepreneur action. So in the entrepreneurship, there is different type of revenue, feedbacks, positive feeling that you will be missing if you're working from 9 to 5 hours work. As I said, most of the entrepreneurship, it comes from your knowledge background, ability to discover within your knowledge, assistant ability. So if you're in the IT, within the IT, you can discover so many things. So when I go outside, I can find out so many things that someone can do it. And then I can find out these IT solution, somebody can do it, and some of them cannot do it. Whether I can do it, once I find out that, then I can get attached to it. So it comes from your knowledge, from your skills, from your problem-solving abilities. Entrepreneur age reflects the entrepreneurship experience. So if you have 5 years, entrepreneurship is different than somebody who has 10 years, somebody who has 15 years of entrepreneurship. And if you fail in one experience, that doesn't mean it's gone from your age. No, it's part of your age, entrepreneurial age. So, but most of the entrepreneur, which is different, start their age from 22 and the 45 years. But older people also, when they get retired, they go into entrepreneurship. So look at it that if you start today in a small venture and small entrepreneurial, this is first year of your entrepreneurial age. You might be starting it at 22, 30, 40 years old, or that's where is the peak. And you might be starting it at 60. There you see lots of people in the 60s. They're also trying to get this business up and running. So your experience in financing, in a product development, in manufacturing, in distribution and marketing are particularly important. But all these experience can be, some of them gained from others. You don't need to be perfect in all these fields to start your entrepreneurship. But if you need to be perfect in one thing, that whether you have enough information to start a entrepreneurial. So the second half of this semester, I will be more working with you on these part of this financing, product development, manufacturing, distribution, to see whether you have enough information to start your entrepreneurship. Now, you might say, well, wait a second, we are in a situation where we cannot meet people right now, but an entrepreneur, it sees a business opportunity in a problem. I have a very good friend. Now he's a CEO for car manufacturing industry in Iran. He came visit me in Kuwait, and he says, you know, every day I read the newspapers looking for problems to solve. So here's the thing, that problems could be a way of to be an entrepreneur. So today we are facing this health issue, and it could be a good business. There's lots of entrepreneurs who already start jumping on this problem solutions. So when you're an entrepreneur, you probably need a model, a role model, and networking, meeting people who's succeeding in entrepreneurship, whether it's small ones or big ones, is important to understand how did he reach to that point, how he became a businessman, how he started. He's a small business. Even if he still have a small business, that's how far he wants to get. So that's an entrepreneurship. Maybe he wants to grow big, that's a different thing. But having a role model in the entrepreneurship is important. And in a different field, you need to have different networking. Somebody who's a professional in marketing can help you. Somebody who's a professional in selling can help you. In the financing can help you. These are cool, all can provide you support and can be mentors, business associate, suppliers, trade association. All these people can support you in that. Now, also, you need the support of your family. I always like to get more roles, more tasks to do. Right now, what I'm doing is, beside teaching with Alpha College, I teach in Centennial College. I also taken some courses to improve educate my ability to deliver courses. I also have accomplished courses on how to use a new way of education. I'm in the third role to do my third graduate studies. Already working on my third graduate studies. I'm developing an application to target the salespeople in the insurance companies. So there is so many things besides I have a big family. So all these things it gives me a self-efficacies, but in the same time to save myself troubles, I have a whole set of networks, mentors, business associates, suppliers, trader associate, people who can help me in these stuff. Now, so the networks that you need to establish and work on it is you need to have an access to the resources, financial, non-financial, informational, there's all type of kind of resources. Assistant in discovering and exploring the new opportunities. Open your mind, look around, see what's there in a market that you can export, import, or establish.
Networks? No.
Now, if you have any question, please write it down to me, and I will be glad to answer these questions. Now, you need to look at the opportunity to exchange goods and service, perceive the feasibilities that strengthen your entrepreneurial intention. Now, sustainable entrepreneurship. You will be very surprised to know entrepreneurs are people who is mostly helping the environment to stay green. Entrepreneurs are people who mostly help people to better their life. When you're an entrepreneur, you start a business and you succeed, you will be hiring few people who have families. And it's please keep your microphone on a mute, because I can hear you and the others can hear you also. So I'm going to mute you all, and anybody who has a question, you can write or unmute yourself and start speaking. I will answer right away any question that you write to me. So believe me, sustainable entrepreneurship, sometimes you're doing it, the other side as positive is the fact that you are helping to stay the things green, or to get a jobs for others. I can give you an example. I started the educational business in Middle East and North Africa. Right now, that was like 20 years ago, to do the using the technology in education. Today, I see most of these universities, over 26 universities, are very able to get right away getting on the online education, because I helped them in the beginning establish the basic things for them. This is, imagine how many people are working in this field now. I started that field in Middle East and North Africa. The other thing, I connected shrines visitors from Iran and Iraq. Imagine 14 million, 15 million people yearly, they go to shrine visitors, and they can use their debit card or credit card, making it easy. How positive these things. How many people are working in that sector right now? How many people, families getting support, businesses booming? There is that positive things beside the dollar that you will be making. So most of this sustainable entrepreneurship is important. It's for you, for your family, for your societies, this is the positive things that you can gain whether material, whether immaterial things. Now, so this is the impact that environmental can gain and can reduce air pollution, increase drinking water quality, and other improved living condition. Me and you can associate with that very well. Some of us, we come from places that they don't have a good water, drinking water, or they might have a bad air pollution. If we can help in that and make business and do money in the same time, then it's a kind of a double fun, a double enjoyment. And we can generate economic, environment, social gain in it. Things like many people have made longer life expectancies. People who discovered antibiotic, they became rich, but and also they felt positive about that. People who started superior education, better education. I was in the Middle East. They had the dollars, but they didn't have the advanced education. I spent years of my life training, educating countries, people, high-end people, just to let them know where is the future of education is moving on. So there is a positive things happening. Some of them now becomes undersecretaries, utilizing the information that I passed to them. Some of them becomes the dean of registrar or the president of universities, utilizing these information and implemented these thoughts. We will explain further and further about these opportunities that are available in the market for you. Okay. Now, do you have any question regarding that? Now, I just wanted to make sure that we go over what we have set up as a basic understanding between all of us. We will take a break now, and we'll come back, say now is, we'll take a break at 4:30, and we will come back after 15 minutes. You come back at 4:35. I'm sorry, 4:45. We will take, and then we will talk about the second half of the class. There, where I break you into groups, and also before we break you in a group, I will speak about what I'm expecting from you and what you are expecting from me. So in this way, we are in the same stage and what we are planning to do in the next classes. So please take a break and come back at 4:45. If you have any question.
No, sir, we are good, sir.
Okay, let me know. I'll see you in 4:45, please. I just want to emphasize on the fact that there's so much potential in you. The only thing stopping you is you. So believe in yourself to be an entrepreneur. Believe in yourself, and then you will be passing the most difficult stage. Now, the rest of the stage, others are there to help you. But if you don't believe in yourself, then to be an entrepreneur it's something is far reach from you. So let's work on this 3 months that we're gonna have 14 weeks to really set you up in a mind of an entrepreneur. Now, I cannot emphasize how wonderful feeling you will have, because I've been in that and I'm in that, and it's very positive. Now, keep in mind, this is not the only course that I teach, but this would be the most rewarding course for me. I teach management information system, very high IT, and I teach marketing research, but this is the ultimate course that I can see that you will be enjoying in the near future. And right now I'm trying to make it very good for you. So start believing in yourself. Don't let lack of resources that will stop you from being a free person. Freedom comes in from sometimes it's that you are not managed by others. As I said, the face of slavery changed. It used to be you work in somebody works in a farm, and end of the day is he goes home and gets his food and everything. Then becomes you end up working in a farm and you get a salary. And with the industry changing, you end up working in a factory or a company, and by the end of the day, you are giving your time, and probably you get some satisfactories, but the satisfaction that you're gonna gain from having your own business, from your own way of putting things, is much, much better and higher. Okay, so this is the point that I wanted you to understand. Now, what we will do now, I want you to pay very good attention on the videos that I play, because that can help so much in building you, first of all. We will play 1 or 2 videos every class. We will have also discussions in every class about the chapters, previous chapters that we spoke about it. But the most important thing, I also want you to, in a way, start building your attitude toward being an entrepreneur, because after this graduation, you will have enough tools in your hand where you can be able to build your own business and be free. And nothing more beautiful than a freedom. Okay, so just to go back to, because last class, one thing, let me talk about the attendance. On the Zoom, I do download the attendance list every week. So I keep the attendance list at my folder, and this attendance list will be available for Alpha College whenever they are asking for. Now, for me, the attendance is not important. What's important is participating. So if you're not attending, you're not participating. And there is a marks on the participations and discussion. So you want to make sure that you're attending, because the issues is like the more you attend, the more we can get you on the state of entrepreneurship. These videos will be uploaded on a YouTube, and also I will send you the link. The presentation, I will convert it to PDF and send you. If you have any questions, please contact me to my mail that I wrote earlier, or you can find me on chat or also here. So there will be time for you to reflect back. Now, so I just want you to think about next class, a discussion group. And I will raise these two questions. And then on the next class, we want to see your participation in it. Now, I'm just gonna probably play one more video for you. Please pay attention to it. And then I will go through the learning plan again, because in the last class, there were not many participants. Today, we have almost a full participant here. And then we will break into groups where you can meet your group, exchange the contacts, and start talking to each other. The other thing that I want from you, this week, you need to send me your CV and your picture attached to it, because I want to know who I'm talking to, because we don't have a live interactive between each other except online. So I want to see what's your dream, what's your background. It all can help in adjusting my support to you. So it's important for me to know what's your CV. If you don't have, build one, have your picture attached to it, and send it to me. And all emails that you're gonna send within, I will try to answer them within 24 hours. And if I don't answer within the 24 hours, there might be reason for it, that you know, technology can, you know, you could have your email stuck in the outbox of yours. And in one of my classes, I had an open book exam, and one of the students, his exam was stuck in his outbox. So unfortunately, he ended up getting an F because he's not checking his email, and he's not looking at my feedback. He's not saying, looking at, so you keep looking at my feedback on the activity. Check with your teammate, classmate, and update yourself. He was now looking at it. So once I published the marks, he ended up with a 0. And then he contacted me, says, well, I sent you the exam. I told him, well, I didn't receive it. So then when he checked his outbox, it was stuck in his outbox. Now, I cannot do anything about it, because the school is telling me you have to publish this things on time. And if I'm not receiving your test, your assignment, your group, your activities on time, I cannot give you any exceptions. So we want to make sure that you are involved with me and keep following me. Now, beside you, I have around 100 other students who I lecture them. So if you don't follow, I cannot follow each, you know, if you have any problem. I do understand not all of us perfect. We always have an issues, problem. So please communicate with me, and I will be glad to help you. Now, let me share this video with you very quickly, and then we will break with in a group, and then we will make sure that you get to know each other group.
If you were to go into business for yourself, what industry would you choose? Businesses provide goods and services to others in exchange for a profit. If that business is run well and is in demand, the profits can be breathtaking. If not, it can lose money and be out of business. There's always the risk of failure. After all, if huge profits were a sure thing, everyone would run their own business. Taking risks and making profits within the dynamic business environment, well, it's not for the faint of heart. But for the winners, it can mean an increased quality of life and more money to fuel other local businesses and infrastructure through purchases and taxes. The super successful can even become philanthropists, giving their money away to great causes. Those who are willing to take the risk for starting a business are a rare breed, special kinds of people known as entrepreneurs. You might recognize Tom Lennon, but he's not just an artist. He's a wildly successful entrepreneur. You might know his work as a comedian on Reno 911.
I'm just knocking him out, that's all. Ready? William
Or the CBS reboot of The Odd Couple, or his acting work in film, such as I Love You Man.
I really enjoyed this. Awesome.
17 again.
I'm here to enroll my son.
Sup?
Hot Tub Time Machine 2, We're the Millers, and The Dark Knight Rises.
I cannot recommend that you go hella skiing.
When we met Tom at his home in Los Angeles to talk about his success in the entertainment industry, he gave us a quick tour.
Now, here is the thing about my life. A lot of people have walls of awards, of mentions they've done, things like that. I have one vaguely positive quote from Kenny Rogers. You'll find a lot of Hollywood screenwriters have the wall of guitars, which is to symbolize that they meant to be in a band.
The truth is, Tom's being modest. He's also a producer, director, and prolific writer with over 8 produced screenplays and even more writing for television. In fact, he and his writing partner and friend from college, Robert Ben Garant, have been so successful they even wrote a book about how to make it in Hollywood.
Our book is not about writing. You know, writing is a creative process. It's something that, you know, it's fun. I love the movies that we're writing. I had a great time writing Herbie Fully Loaded right until I saw the movie. Our book is about surviving, the business aspect of it, how to get hired again when you've been fired.
Tom and Ben's screenplay for Night at the Museum was so well received it led to 2 sequels. Sequels where the process was every bit as challenging.
And I've been fired off of Night at the Museum 3 times by Ben Stiller, who is a very good friend, which will happen constantly, all the time. You will endlessly get fired, and you need to be able to find a way to suppress your ego just a little bit and walk it off. Don't say something you regret as you walk out the door and throw a grenade behind you. You need to be as delightful as possible to work with.
Writing is a tough business. There's lots of competition and few writers that ever actually sell their work. Some top writers work on teams for big studios. Much like other late-night hosts, Jimmy Fallon has a whole staff of writers that pen jokes and sketches for each Tonight Show. While there's a lot of security in writing for someone else, there's also restraints. Censorship by the FCC limits the raciness of Tonight Show writing, for example, and the format limits the breadth and the complexity of the show's sketches. Also, staff writers, like all employees, work for a salary. So if they come up with something really brilliant, they get paid just as much as if they merely punched up someone else's work. Tom took the independent route at a young age. He joined a comedy troupe at NYU. They started playing at bars, and that led to an MTV show, which was hosted by a young Jon Stewart, which led to their own critically acclaimed sketch comedy show, The State. Tom's subsequent successes have given him the freedom to write and produce his own projects, and to perform in those projects as he chooses.
You are the greatest player I have ever seen, other than myself.
Anything that gets into a big studio movie, any line or joke, has been vetted by about 5 or 6 people before the movie star and the director. You get a lot of notes, because this is you're spending a lot of their money. Then you can do what we did last year, which is we made a movie called Hell Baby down in New Orleans. It cost $2 million. We were never given one note, ever. I love the movie. It got horrifyingly bad reviews. And the day that it came out on demand, it was watched on YouTube illegally 68,000 times.
Jeepers.
So the studios, while they give you a lot of notes and they're real hands-on, they also protect you in a lot of ways, and they pay you a ton.
Being an entrepreneur means not only taking risks, but experiencing setbacks as well. And in Hollywood, changing audience tastes, Technological advances and drastic budget cuts by struggling studios are all things that Tom has had to respond to. One of his biggest challenges happened at the Fox network.
We were trying to do a sketch show for Saturday nights on Fox. The president of Fox, or somebody we still work for, said, you know what, there's no hook. You're canceled. We're like, we got canceled at the table read. And it went pretty well. So we called, but we were like, you know what, we might do, since we still have the budget and the crew and this cast, we're gonna do something and turn it in for you anyway. Turned it in, got very close to getting on the air at Fox, but did not get on the air at Fox. Sat on the shelf for 3 years. Comedy Central called us and said, you guys, we'd love to get you guys back on Comedy Central. Is there anything you'd like to do? We said, we showed it to them. We're like, great, sold.
That show, Reno 911, was obviously immensely successful, running for 6 critically acclaimed seasons and leading to a movie. This earned Tom greater opportunities, all during the dawn of the digital revolution, when studios refocused their marketing strategies to appeal to global audiences. Tom makes it very clear in his book that to be successful as a screenwriter, you have to treat it as a business. And you have to do what your client, the studio, expects.
Like if I was to call a contractor in my house and be like, great, I want a kitchen. And he's gonna say, great, this is like no kitchen you've ever seen in your life. It's got 16 double freezers and no sink at all. I don't know what I said to you that made you think I want something that's not a traditional kitchen. So writing studio movies, you are a contractor. The upside of being able to work in those, a contractor who can work in those constraints is, there are script doctors in Hollywood who make $250,000 a week.
To justify such rates, by earning studios as much money as possible, writers often avoid culturally dependent jokes and culturally insensitive characters in favor of more broad humor to keep films accessible to the diverse global market. China, for example, limits the import of foreign films to just 34 per year, creating fierce competition for access to that lucrative audience. Yet that competition and the resulting demand for non-Chinese products have inspired China to raise this quota over the years for much smaller numbers. The original Night at the Museum played in over 70 countries, doing huge box office numbers from the Americas to Europe, Australia, and Southeast Asia.
Freaking awesome!
That success earned Tom and Ben other opportunities, which also earned huge profits. But none of it comes easy.
What seems like sort of casual success is usually just a ton of work. Ben and I write 8 or 10 films for every one that gets made. The day I got married, I spent half the day doing a rewrite on something.
At the beginning, we told you that Tom was a successful screenwriter. What we didn't tell you is just how successful he's been. The first 2 Night at the Museum films combined brought in nearly $1 billion at the box office. And a third film is likely to push the total box office earnings to over $2 billion, making him and his partner only the 6th writers to achieve that feat, and the only ones who are also on-screen performers. Tom will soon join the likes of George Lucas and James Cameron as one of the most successful screenwriters in the history of Hollywood. So how did he do it? Well, it was a combination of luck, skill, hard work, and most importantly, approaching his career like an entrepreneur.
Almost everything we've done, if there's one unifying factor, we didn't ask somebody's permission and wait for permission. Permission isn't coming. Don't ask permission, just go do it.
Okay, so you notice that the part of it is the fact that all these successful stories, there was lots of failing stories behind it. The more you are well educated, the more you are aware of the situation, the more you can really have less failing. But it is important that you have a desire to be a successful, or to be an entrepreneur, and look at these businesses as an as something, if it succeeds, you're going to do very well, your family, your society, everybody. But in the same time, if you failed in one, that means the next one is going to come as a success. So if your plan is to succeed in one and you have to fail, for example, an average of 9 before you succeed in one, if you don't fail in first and second and third, and then 10th one, you're not going to succeed with it. You might be succeeding from the first one, but you want to make sure that if you're failing in one plan, that should not take you off of the market of being an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur gathers some hard work, but it needs tools also to be there. Now, so just to want to make sure before we break into rooms, this is what I wanted you into these rooms. You meet each other in the rooms, want to make sure that you exchange the contacts with each other. That could be mail or something. And also you send me by end of the week a mail, a CC, your team members to say, okay, this is, we are the team and we're gonna be group because you're gonna stay rest of the semester as a group. Now, any one of you who does not like to, wants to switch to other team, he should find a replacement for themselves. So he's not allowed to switch from one team to another without having a replacement for them. Because I don't want to end up with a team has 2 people in one group and then one has 10 people. So you want to make sure that the teams will be equally divided. Now, the other thing that every next class, we will have a discussion questions. And these discussion questions is important that you can, anticipate in them, because it's important for you to participate in the classes. That's where I can, mark the participation of you. And also it helps you if you need any support and help from me. Please send me emails, write back to me. I will publish these on a Google, on YouTube, and I will send you the links and publish the PowerPoint for you. So I will divide you now in groups, and you will have a pop-up saying join. So you need to join in that group, please. And I probably will come and visit each group. And anybody who is not joining a group, I have to make sure that he is joining a group. Now, there is rooms will be showing up, and each room probably will have 4 to 5 people. And an average, I will later on, if anybody who is not in a group, I can add them to that group. But maximum, I will go with the 5 people for that. So please join the group. Now, just to let you know, can you make it later? Yes, later on you can make the group reassign again. I will close the rooms again and probably talk about this, about it again. Okay, guys, please, when I send you assigned group, this means you will be assigned to that group. Now, whether you don't like the team members or you can do better with other team members, the only way now I need to set up each group. Later on, you can switch. You cannot go to another group. You can switch with somebody in the another group. So if you have somebody that you know in the another group, you just speak with him, says, I want to join, and let the other person speak with the others so he can join with others. I need you all will be between 4 to 6 maximum. So I think we are very clear in this sense. I'm gonna try to do that again. Please join your group and exchange your emails with each other. So you will be in that group. Please do that. Later on, you can send me an email telling me that you want to switch and you have somebody replacing you and he can join the other group. So I'm going to create another breakout rooms. And please, anybody who is not assigned should be assigned to the group. Please. Okay, I will join a group and see each one how they are doing. Hi guys. You guys in group room 1? Can you hear me?
Hi, sir.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
Good, sir. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, sir. Thank you.
Listen, guys, we need to establish this group, and later on you can switch it if you have somebody replacing you. But please, in the real life, we cannot keep switching because you need to get the best out of each other. So I will leave you to exchange the emails between each other and make sure that you have a good, communication.
ਇਹ ਕੁੜੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਇਕੱਲੀ ਆ ਕੰਫਰਟੇਬਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਫੀਲ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੋਣੀ
That's wonderful. You guys are active. See you guys.
Hi, sir.
Hi, how are you? I think you guys are very active. Take your time.
Yeah,
actually, sir, Pranshu Dingra wanna switch the group. Can you
Anybody
please switch
wants to switch
with
the group?
another group?
Well, you
yeah,
can
Pranshu Dingra wanna switch.
Yeah, later on you can talk to each other through email or something and find somebody replacing you.
Yeah.
So at the end of the week, I will get a group leader telling me who's in them as a members.
Who is the group leader? Can you please tell, sir?
Like, right now you can talk to each other and find who's going to communicate.
Yeah.
So you can see, who's going to write to me saying,
yeah, no worries, sir. Yeah, we will do. Yeah.
Okay. Good luck.
Yeah. No worries. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
हाँ भी फिर देखो की करना अपन
बन जा भाई तू भी बन जा की ना भाई तेरा
ना यार मैं
यार मतलब फिर आप एक्सचेंज भी कर सकते हैं ना किसी सिमरन नु ले लेंदी अपने ग्रुप च जा
Hi guys.
अगर कोई और होना चाहे रिप्लेस
चलो सर आ जाओ. Wonderful.
Hello sir, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
No problem. See, if anybody wants to move from this group, please find a replacement for you guys before you move. So you need, as a startup, somebody will send me an email saying, this is my group, and then later on we can discuss whether you're okay. I think you guys are okay. Work out and see how you can communicate with each other, because it's important that you are, staying to each other and make sure that you are delivering a project plans with it as a team. So I'm going to leave you and I'm going to the other rooms, and let me know if you have any questions.
So you made this group for like projects?
Yes, as any project that requires a group team, and this would be as a project, yes.
Okay.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
I see it's a very quiet group here. You need to talk to each other, make sure that things is fine. And I will leave you now and wish you good luck.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, sir. We share our information with each other. So now we can leave.
Give me a minute and you can leave.
Yeah.
But now, I have to make a final announcement and then we can leave.
Okay.
Sir, the group is temporary?
No, it's a stable one, but you can switch between each other.
Later or now?
Yes, later on, maybe within this week.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So
Okay,
I want you to return to the normal session now, and we will make a one short announcement, and then you will be free to go. Okay. I guess we're back, and right now, let me see. We're only 14. Where the number is gone low. So stick with your group. Send me an email. I need your CV that you send it to me, and I wish you a good luck. I will be here answering any questions that you have. Okay. As once again, please make sure that you exchange all your contacts with your group. And if you didn't, then later on you exchange it. And you want to make sure if you want to switch between groups, you switch it between each other. Please. Thank you very much and have a wonderful weekend. And if you have any question, let me know. I'm here, and I will be happy to help you. Guys, end of the week, I need you to send me email with your group member. Have one person assigned to write to me, and he or she CC other members. This group will do assignments and will support each other.
Sir, what we have to do, change the group?
Okay, to change the group, all you have to do is to speak with other member and see that if he's interested, any member of that interested group is willing to switch with you. And that's the only thing that is as an option. Switching groups, it will take us forever not to go finalize it. And keep in mind, we eventually need to be in one group. So please make sure that you're sticking with your group unless it's necessary that you need to switch the group. And it's important to be in that group. The only way that you will be switching from one group to another is that you need to have a replacement for you. And if you don't find a replacement, then it will be difficult for me to assign you in a new group, because I don't want a group having 10 people and another group have only 2 people. So right now, you come up later on and says, I don't have a group, I will assign you with anyone that I find the seat available. Next week, you have no option. You're going to stick. So this week, if you want to do any switching, please do it this week. Next week, it will be, when we start the class, you will be in that group, please. Between 4 to 6 people each group, no more than that. Okay, so good luck, and let me know if you have any question. You can write to my email, and I will announce my email again at St. Lawrence College-alpha.ca. This is my email to everyone. Contact me or chat with me. You have a good day, and I'll see you in this class. And I can promise you one thing, day by day, class by class, this class will be very interesting, more interesting for you and for everybody. I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy that.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, sir. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.